and welcome to the Dog Savant Podcast. My name is Brent Endies. I am a professional dog trainer. This podcast is for you if you are a dog or puppy owner seeking training and behavior advice, if you are a client in the real world looking to supplement the information and what we are working on together, and if you're just anyone interested in dog training, dog behavior, the life of a professional dog trainer, this podcast is for you. I always ask, please rate, review, share, subscribe, tell a friend, send me a message. I haven't had a new review in about a year. It'd be nice to get some more positive reviews. More people can find it. It also just gives me motivation to want to continue to put out episodes. We're going to talk more about crate training. I put out a few episodes about it, but I figure if we can just cover as many angles and reiterate as many points, it will get all these puppies on track in the right way, or adult dogs if your dog is struggling with a potty training issue, so we have less dogs peeing on rugs and more out on the lawn. Also just a few things about me. I have a website, dogtrainingla.com. If you're in the Los Angeles area, I am happy to do in-person and group dog training for you. And I also do Zoom training, so if you are not in the Los Angeles area, I absolutely can help. It's worked many times over, especially during the pandemic. So now I continue to offer that to people. I've seen clients from all over the globe. It's been very, very rewarding to be able to assist people, even remotely, in the same way that I can help these clients here locally. All right, so with all that said, let's get into potty training. So the basic idea of potty training is you want to teach your dog to go outdoors exclusively, how to hold it indoors and wait till the next time. Okay, so as a young puppy, that holding it time indoors is going to be quite short. It's going to be an hour or two. You're going to even accommodate at first. If you have a new 8-week-old puppy, more frequently when you think they have to go, simply because you want to just conditioning outside is the spot to go. You reward that, and that starts creating a clear association. If I do this in this space, I get good things to come to me, and also it's just the norm. I'm more familiar going outdoors than anywhere else. Okay, so that's how it works, right? That's what you want to teach your dogs, that eventually you have an adult dog, they can hold it 6 or more hours, you go to work, you go run errands, you don't have to think twice about it, they're good to go till the next time you come back and let them out. Now, not all dogs have that ability, and I think maybe what we'll start is talk about, well, how do the problems arise? What is the way that some people I find can go about potty training, even with the attempt to, create a good habit or teach their dog good housebreaking skills, and it ends up having limits or even backfiring in the long run. So I've talked about it before. The first one is using pee pads. What pee pads do is teaches a dog to still become familiar to go inside, and it also teaches them to go whenever they feel like at will and not learn how to hold it for increasingly longer periods of time as their age and ability develops. Now, pee pads are good if your dog is sick. If you have an emergency situation, you just have to leave your puppy alone for more than the time allotment that they can handle holding it in a crate, or you have a pen because you have no other option. Understandably, that's an isolated type of situation. But for the majority of puppy owners, you teach your dog to go outdoors, and then they have to learn to hold it inside. And you don't give them that backup plan because they won't figure out that when they're outside, they better, if you will, take care of all their business, because they're not going to have such convenience. And we're not trying to make it so difficult where they're uncomfortable. We just have to start building the threshold for how long they can hold it, and to realize when they're outside, that's the window of opportunity to take care of what they need to, and they'll get rewarded for it. And then what we have to do is create conditions indoors when they're back to get them to hold it in between. So your best bet for that is a crate. Now, the crate you want to use skillfully. You want to address, because I've done podcasts about puppies or dogs that resist crate training because it's not integrated enough into the routine, or they don't have enough structure to make the crate normalized for them to be calm and relaxed in it, right? So that's part of it. But let's say that's not an issue. Your dog just holds it in the crate. You want to pinpoint. So if you took your dog to go to the bathroom, and let's say, your puppy's 3 months old. So we go about an hour for every month of age during the day. And your puppy can go about 2 or 3 hours now. And let's say an hour and a half, 2 hours goes by. You're like, well, you're doing good, but I think you got another hour in you. Instead of having your dog, of course, just wander off and go in the house in the wrong space, or take them outside, where sure, they'll be more likely to go to the bathroom, but you didn't teach them how to hold it that little extra time. What you want to do is have them go in their crate for that extra half hour, just to hit that 3-hour window. Or even when you teach your dog solid place training, they can learn to lay and, like a crate, isolate their attention to one space and lay there calmly and stay clean until they're out, having more freedom and location to do their business. So it just is based on your dog's age and ability. Even if you have an adult dog that is an adult, because it's every hour for a month of age, usually for a puppy. So 4 months old, about 3-4 hours, 5, up to about 6-7 hours or so. If you push it with an adult dog, you can get to 8 hours. But let's say you've got a adult dog that's just been using a doggy door their whole time, right? Because I'm going to circle back here to the conditions that could cause this, one of them also being a doggy door. And they don't know how to hold it, and now you're in a new situation, or you just want to teach them. Well, now you have to learn to go on command at these times that we schedule for your bathroom breaks, not just every hour on the hour, let's say, just in and out of the house, right? Aside from other issues doggy doors can sometimes create with an anxious-minded dog. So you might have to go back to 2 or 3 hours. Even though the adult dog on paper could hold it, they're just not used to it. And you build it back up. And that's a little trickier because they have some habits of just being familiar going indoors and not learning how to hold it much. And overnight, it's funny because even young puppies and dogs that have this issue as adults can sometimes overnight have no issue. And my best understanding would be because they realize they're going outside. That's their last chance to do it. And if they don't take advantage, they're going to have to wait till the morning because we go to bed. They're usually in a room, or for puppies, a lot of times they get kenneled. And you end up with them putting 2 and 2 together. And it's funny, at night they can do it, and during the day they may have a little less of an ability, and you have to build it up more, right? So I find that is something clients report to me as well. So back to what causes it, right? The dog door, right? They're just able to go whenever they want, just like leaving pee pads. Also don't find they're safe, and they can lead to anxiety and all that, right? Different podcasts, but generally dog door is good for a chill dog, or when your dog has the potty and life skills where they can come in and out more casually, and it's not going to undo the right habits being formed initially. Again, taking them out when you think they have to go, or the bells, right? The dog asking to go. And if there's an emergency, your dog's not feeling well, they whimper, you take them out. But if your dog's whimpering because they learn that gets you to get up to their beckoning call and take them out whenever you want them to, you should say, well, it's not time yet. So you have them wait in their crate again for the couple hours in between that until it's appropriate to get them out at the right scheduled time. Food and water scheduling. You want to make sure, especially with a puppy, you're getting everything on a system. You want to not have them over drinking or overeating, so that they, you want them to be comfortable. You want to have everything kind of in and out on that system. Make sure you're feeding the right food, so your puppy's or dog's not intaking too many byproducts and fillers and waste that causes more of a need to go to the bathroom than necessary. If you have dogs eating wet food, which I don't love, but a little bit is okay, or food with moisture in it. They have a lot of this prepackaged cooked stuff. There could be moisture content that could be causing a need to relieve themselves more frequently, right? So these are all things you take into account, just so that when you're using the crate and you're creating a schedule, it's just fair. And if it's a puppy or a dog you're rehabilitating through an issue like this, it's just temporary. It's a couple months of being more strict. I always say you remedy the extra crate or place time by lots of exercise, lots of walks in between. But even then, try to time it where, you went to the bathroom on cue, now we're going to go on a walk. We'll do some playtime. If they get enough of that, it's no big deal. The crate's not being used as punishment. The crate can be in the same room as you, for a good part of the time. It's good for them to learn to be off on their own in crates and places, but it just teaches them how to just lay calmly, and most importantly for this topic of discussion, for potty training, to stay clean for stretches of time, and then seeing indoors at some point, because here's the end game. Your house simulates a crate where they see indoors as clean. They have the skill to hold it without needing a smaller, more obvious space to do it. And they wait comfortably to go outdoors to the right time. They don't have to get rewarded every time. Another thing I would do is make sure your dog or puppy is well versed on where they go. If your dog's not vaccinated, you want to take them out more in the yard or the front of your house. But then, you start getting them, or if you have an apartment, it's another thing. Don't teach them pee pads. Do like a balcony grass pad or something if you're not comfortable taking them to the front of your building. But and then again, they'll have these abilities down the road. So you want to teach them, go on concrete, grass, gravel, whatever surfaces you may have, so they don't just get a surface or texture preference as well. Okay, so that's that on potty training for you. I give another little overview of it for anyone who's interested, needs help with it. A client of mine, I send these podcasts about potty training to almost every new puppy client, so this is for you as well. Again, thank you for listening. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to this podcast. It takes a minute or two. It would help me. It just gets other people to find this. Stay tuned also. I'm going to have an online training course where editing, I've mentioned that before. That'll be available soon. It's going to be comprehensive, covering everything A to Z that in almost 30 years of this, I've taught my clients in the real world. So again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.